Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by TradingAcademy.com. I am your host, Josh Lilquist, and last segment we were covering a couple different topics on the opportunities that are arising in these markets and what some of the drivers of these moves are. We had a great move in October, into November. Towards the end of October was the lows. Almost a whole month of November showing a rocket ship. It was to the moon, as they say on the interweb. But a nice move in the market in November. Things starting to slow down, but we had some good GDP news. I believe that was on Wednesday, and just great opportunities as we get into this holiday season coming up. And we had a lot of people invest into their time. And what I mean by that is they're spending a little bit of time to hopefully build a plan for their financial future. And we've had a lot of people texting in to an investing class that's 2 hours long to get started on their financial future, to get started on new techniques, new concepts, or maybe just know what stocks are all about. That's why we have these investing classes here locally at the Academy. It's a power trading workshop. Simply just text in the word investing to the number 210-210. That's text investing to the number 210-210 for 2 free seats. Or you can simply go to investwithota.com. That's investwithota.com, and you will be directed right to our landing page so you can pick your own date for this class. We do these during the week, on the weekend, in the evenings, so pretty much anybody can attend. Invest in yourself, invest in your time. Now is the time to do that for the free investing class. Make sure to subscribe and like the podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Each and every day, a segment coming out, Investing and Trading Live, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. So, Al, in the last segment, we were talking about those different topics, but on this one here, there's a lot of hoopla out on TV, on the old interweb. I feel like I'm 75, 85, 90, maybe 105 years old calling it the interweb. But there's a lot of hoopla on there and these get-rich-quick things and follow this strategy and you're going to be a billionaire in 4 days and you're going to have a 100% correct system and all that jazz and everything that's out there, which is really, in my mind, it's fogging the brains of a lot of people. And so what happens is they don't really do anything about their finances then because there's so much stuff out there. And I know you've worked with a lot of people and helped a lot of people get a plan set up and get a trajectory set up to where they want to be and where they are now, where they want to be. But there is different things that are characteristics, we'll say, that get people to those goals and objectives, and things that slow them down, that won't get them there. Now, I want you to talk about some of those things that get people to their goals and not, and what slows people down, and what speeds people up in their learning process, because I know you've helped a lot of people overcome a lot of that to build plans for their future.
Yeah, well, let's start with this. Let's start with the question. And that question is, why do most traders make a trade and then just hope that things work out for them? And there are some traders that make smart, informed, profitable trades and don't worry about the outcome. Why is that? Well, it's because the people that are hoping, that are kind of guessing and hoping things work out, just aren't properly educated on how the markets work and what the opportunities are. People don't fail because of a lack of opportunities in the market. They fail because of an inability to take advantage of them. And you need, number one, you need to know what the opportunities are, but you need to know what they are in all three market directions. Most people just look at how to benefit, hopefully, in an upward market, a positive bull market, but not in a down market or a sideways market. And there are opportunities in all three. So let's look at what a trader's goal is and what the education goal we have for our students is. It's showing you how to make the maximum amount of money in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of risk. And when I'm talking about maximum amount of money, what I'm talking about is just taking advantage of the profit potential that's available in any trade. And one of the mistakes people make is not knowing how to identify where that profit is. So they do one of two things. They either get out too soon and don't really achieve the full profit potential, or they wait too long and they let that profit be taken away. So those are some of the things that we address in our education to do what I just said, to make the maximum amount of money, shortest amount of time with the least amount of risk. You have to find out where a stock or an investment is headed and then capture some, if not most, of that move. And how do you do that? Well, with our students, is what we call our core strategy. Anytime you invest, you have to have a strategy. You have to have something that is going to get you to the point where you have consistently successful trading, investing outcomes. And for most people, they don't have a strategy. I've referred to it before as a toss and stick. They just look at the market, and they maybe have heard of somebody or know someone that's made a lot of money. They just open an account, they start throwing their money at things, hoping that things work out. Well, if you use the right strategy, it's a process. Let's look at it that way. You have to have a process that gives you a high probability of your investment or your trade working in your favor with a high profit potential, and then the least amount of risk. That's what a quality trade is. And the difference between a pro and an amateur basically is that the pros look for probabilities and the amateurs just look for a home run. They think that they have to have a huge profit every time they invest. If you understand the process, and that process gets you to the point where you can be consistent in your trading, that's what's going to make you successful. And everything that I just talked about really is dependent upon finding institutional supply and demand areas on a price chart. And by supply and demand areas, what we're talking about are just simply areas where there are big buy orders and where there are big sell orders. What's really important isn't necessarily what you're investing in as much as it is this the right time to make that investment? Where's the big money? Where are the big orders? Where are the sell orders? Where are the buy orders? If you can identify where they are, and those are institutional buy and sell orders, you can just sit back and follow what they're doing. Let them do all the work. They're showing us where the best value of a particular investment is and maybe where it's overvalued. So you get in at the right time, you get out at the right time.
Yeah, I like what you were talking there, because it all comes down to that one word is being consistent. And that's what a lot of people just don't understand, is if you're not consistent in the market, it's going to be hard to have longevity in the markets. And as you're talking about, if a lot of people are just tossing something, buying a stock and hoping it goes up with no risk management parameters wrapped around it, then it is just a hope strategy. And when you have those classes, I've seen you teach a lot of those classes, that's a big thing that you talk about is that consistent strategy, the probabilities, adding odds in your favor, and then following that. And that's a big thing that we talk about in these investing classes is what are those techniques? What are those concepts? And how do you do that with consistency? So simply to come in one of these classes, I want to invite you to check that out. If you want to get into these markets and you're brand new and don't really know where to start or what to do, that's what these classes are for. If you're a seasoned investor and you're looking for more consistency, this class is also for you. So simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210 right now for 2 seats for that class. I'm going to invite you to this class. We have these classes. A lot of people are coming in during the holidays because, one, they got the extra time, but two, we do have those New Year's resolutions right around the corner.
Coming up.
Text the word investing to the number 210-210. You can also go online and simply just go to our website. Just go to investwithota.com. That's investwithota.com. And you can pick your own date that works the best for there. So as I was talking about, you need that strategy, and you have to consistently do certain things. And there's certain characteristics that you look for, Al, that for people that are looking to be a part of the academy and want to learn how to trade and invest. So let's just say if there was 3 simple characteristics that would be important in somebody's investing journey or their learning journey, what might they be?
Yeah, that's a good question. And we have spent a lot of time. This is our 26th year. We've spent 26 years kind of fine-tuning our education, putting together the things that we know work and taking out the things that we know don't work. And this all of us has been put together by professional traders, people that are doing this for their livelihood, people that have done it for years, maybe 30, 40 years as a professional trader. So we're going to give you information. We're going to teach you how to trade in these markets, how to invest in these markets. We need you to listen to what we're talking about. We need you to be coachable. And when you think about it, every professional athlete has a coach. Tom Brady had coaches. The top tennis players have coaches. And these coaches can point out things that you might not see, you might not know that you're doing. That's what we do. We have instructors here that are professionals that are here to guide you, kind of mentor you, take you by the hand, and take you down the path you need to follow to get to where you are to from where you are to where you want to be. And then to be able to do it successfully, you have to have the discipline to follow a strategy, follow that process. Our process, our strategy is based on a set of rules, a step-by-step process. The people that do well have the discipline to follow those steps. And if you're following something that works, it becomes easy to do that. The other thing is being decisive. These markets are fast. You know, we've got all these auto systems out there now, auto trading systems. It's almost not quite impossible, but it's close to it for you to sit at a computer and just try to figure things out and then make an entry into something before the move has already taken place or a good part of it's taken place. You have to be decisive. And that's what the successful traders will tell you, is to use a strategy that gives you the confidence to know that you'll be consistent in your trades, and then just be decisive enough to follow it. Don't question it. Follow it. Make sure that you are setting your trades up in a way where you have the right entry, which is the most important thing. The price that you choose to get into something really is going to determine your profit. That price will give you the ability to have a quality risk management strategy and also have the opportunity for the greatest amount of profit.
Yeah, one of the great things about those, I like those characteristics, by the way. It's almost like I thought of them. But what I like about that is, with discipline and decisive and coachable being those three, there's only one that we can't teach. We can't really teach someone to be coachable, right? But if you're a person that's coachable, willing to learn something not new, just a little bit different, if you struggle with discipline or you struggle with being decisive, there's things that can be taught to overcome those. There's strengths that you can use for some weaknesses, and vice versa. That way, if once we identify that stuff, that's where we learn different techniques to improve from that and overcome those things that slow you down. And that's what you want to talk about at the beginning, was what slows people down, or why people do well or why people don't do well. And sometimes it's not really recognizing what some of those characteristics are.
You know, it's easy to get facts. I mean, there's all sorts of places to get knowledge and get facts, but the real important thing is how you use that. When do you use the knowledge you have? You have to know how to use it, when to use it, why you're using it. That's the skill building part, but that's where you need the coaches. That's where you need somebody to guide you and point out to you what you're doing right or what you're doing wrong. And those facts are valuable only if you know how and when to use them.
Yeah, you were saying it's about getting the facts, and here I thought you just recognized that I had a great Thanksgiving and I got fat. Here, but then
we can talk about that too if you want.
My hearing is going bad, I guess, but that's really good. So those characteristics are super important: being coachable, having some discipline, then you got to be decisive, and that's where sometimes I think people struggle with that sometimes, because nobody ever wants to make a decision. And it's not because they don't know how, it's just because it's easy to kick the can down the road.
Right.
If you feel like you've been kicking the can down the road for months, weeks, maybe even years, probably maybe even decades, to take control of your financial future, now is the time to stop kicking that can. Now is the time to be decisive and take that next step. It's not hard. All you got to do is text in to a free investing class and see what it's all about. So I'm going to invite you to do that. Why don't you, I'm going to invite you to come into this class. They're about 2 hours. So it's 2 hours of your time on this holiday season coming up here. You can simply just text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 seats by the way, it's a free investing class, to see the different techniques and concepts that we're going to talk about and continue to talk about here on the show here today. Or you can simply just go to investwithota.com, and it'll redirect you right to our landing page. When you go to investwithota.com, you can pick your own date with that. We have them during the day, we have them during the week, weekends, so pretty much anybody can attend. We've made it available to anybody almost at any time, because if you work during the day, great, we have them on the weekends and the evenings. If you work on the weekends or the evenings, great, we have those during the week. So that way you can at least have an opportunity to build a plan for your financial future. Coming up next, we talked a lot about sports, and is there an equal playing field in sports with all the things that are going on? I want to talk about that and address that in this next segment in the financial markets. This is Josh and Al. We will be right back.